Hey guys, today on People Now, the truth about Meghan Markle. 5 women from Meghan's inner circle revealing what's really going on in a People World exclusive.
Plus, the shocking truth about her dad, Thomas Markle's claims.
Also today, all about Jennifer Lawrence's fiance and that surprise engagement.
Denise Richards opens up about finding love again after divorce from Charlie Sheen.
Susan Lucci's emergency heart crisis, why she feels lucky to be alive.
Why Ariana Grande is reportedly not performing at the Grammys.
We are breaking it all down today on People Now. Hey, happy Wednesday, everybody. Welcome to People Now. Great to see you. And guys, look, almost spring. We are counting down the days here.
Spring.
Kind of.
That gets me very excited.
Love must be in the air. Jennifer Lawrence just joined the list of Hollywood couples to be engaged.
Yeah,
Congrats
this was very surprising. I think a lot of people didn't even know that they were together, what was going on. But her boyfriend, Cooke Maroney, popped the question. We're very happy for our girl, J-Law. But we're also stoked for a lot of celebrity weddings that are coming up, too. So we want to know, which one are you most excited for? Jennifer Lawrence and Cooke Maroney, Chris Pratt and Katherine Schwarzenegger, Justin Bieber and Hailey Baldwin, who guess are technically already married, but still planning a big celebration sometime soon.
What a good way to do it.
Yeah, or last one, Sophie Turner and Joe Jonas. These are going to be tricky to choose between, but vote for the celebrity wedding you're most excited for in our People poll.
I think a lot of people are going to look at these and be like, wait, they're engaged? Oh, they're engaged? You know, like there's kind of like, it's a lot of love.
Who are you most excited about?
I'm excited for Bieber's celebration.
Yeah.
Because it's like separate from the official wedding. Like it's just probably going to be a big party.
And Sophie Turner and Joe Jonas.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be cute.
We'll check in on your answers in a little bit. We're going to break down Jennifer and Cooke's exciting engagement as well. But for now, here's what you need to know and what's trending today. Meghan Markle's friends are speaking out. 5 women from Meghan's inner circle have spoken exclusively to People to stand up, quote, against the global bullying that they're seeing and speak the truth about their friend. All who have asked to remain anonymous to protect their friendship so they could speak a little more freely. Now, in candid interviews, the women set the record straight on a number of falsehoods from her day-to-day life at Kensington Palace, which we're going to get into a little bit later, to her relationship with her father, which has been heavily scrutinized in the media, as we all know, as well as her relationship, or lack thereof, with half-sister Samantha Markle. Breaking all of that down. A friend of Meghan's claims that she and Samantha never had a relationship. They said Samantha was in her mid to late teens when Meghan was born. One of the most talked about moments happened days before Meghan and Harry's wedding when Thomas Markle suffered a heart attack. We remember when that happened in the ramp up to the wedding. According to one of Meghan's friends, Meghan, quote, heard he had a heart attack, and she's calling and texting even up to the night before the wedding. It was like, please pick up, I love you, and I'm scared. It was endless. That's their quote. And her friend also talked about the long letter that Meghan wrote to her father, pleading with him to, quote, stop victimizing her through the media so they could repair their relationship. Meghan's friends claimed that her father responded to her letter and requested a photo op with her. They said, quote, she feels like that's the opposite of what I'm saying. I'm telling you I don't want to communicate through the media, and you're asking me to communicate through the media. Her friends also refute Thomas Markle's claims of being unable to reach her, saying, quote, he knows how to get in touch with her. He's never called. He's never texted. It's super painful. Guys, we'll have more for you on Meghan Markle and her home life a little bit later in the show. Stick around for that. Also, in this week's issue of People, B. Smith's husband is setting the record straight, insisting his wife told him to get on with his life before her Alzheimer's worsened. In December, 64-year-old Dan Gasby went public about his year-long romance with his new girlfriend, 53-year-old Alex Lerner. Lerner now lives in the house with Gasby and his wife of 26 years, Barbara Smith, who is battling Alzheimer's disease at the age of 69. Now, while the internet has not reacted kindly, and they call it an act of betrayal, Gasby has remained unfazed by all the criticism. He tells People, I was miserable. I could have put my wife in an institution, but I love her. It's just a different type of love now. More people are contracting diseases like Alzheimer's, and they can live longer. So what about the caregivers? Is their world supposed to end? That's his quote. He goes on to explain that he believes in his heart that B would approve of the situation, and that while researching their book, quote, B knew what Alzheimer's was, knew it is not an easy death. She told me to get on with my life. In 2016, B. Smith, who's a trailblazer for African-American women in media, released Before I Forget, Love, Hope, Help, and Acceptance in Our Fight Against Alzheimer's. The book was co-written by her husband and released before her early onset Alzheimer's fully took hold. Now, since that book's release, Gasby, who's a former television producer, found himself lonely and depressed as he watched his wife succumb to the disease, describing her as, quote, a physically strong toddler who speaks in gibberish, adding that she needs to be forced to shower and to use the bathroom. bathroom. Obviously a really tough situation there. And Gatsby's daughter, Dana, from a previous marriage, moved in with the family 3 years ago to help take care of Smith. Now, currently, they have no outside help. As People discovered, Lerner and Smith actually have a positive relationship. Lerner helps Smith get dressed, makes her laugh. The three even go out to dinner together. Lerner and Gatsby first met in 2017 when Lerner was struggling to manage her father's dementia. Gatsby said that she was a lot like B. There was that kindness in her eyes. And he says that Lerner is now his best friend, who is bringing joy back into his life while he cares for B. Lerner told People that she's not lonely. She has a lot of love in her life. B's neurologist, Sam Gandy, actually told People that B, quote, shows every outward sign of deep appreciation of the care that she receives from Alex. Gatsby said so many people end up in an institution and maybe get visited once a week. That is not the case here. Let the haters hate, but the haters are wrong. In 1976, B. Smith was the first African-American woman to grace the cover of Mademoiselle magazine. Her career spans the gamut of media. She's been a TV host, fashion model, magazine publisher, wrote 4 books, has appeared on the cover of 14 other magazines, and was the first African-American woman to have a home collection sold at a nationwide retailer. A true trailblazer. More details on that in this week's issue of People. All right, moving on to this. Ariana Grande is saying thank you next to the Grammys. Sources close to the situation tell Variety that Ariana will not be attending the show due to a disagreement with Grammy producers over her performance. Well, she apparently felt insulted after producers refused to allow her to perform her new hit single, 7 Rings. An agreement was eventually made where the song would be played as part of a medley, but then Ariana pulled out of the show when the producers insisted that they should choose the medley's second song. According to Variety, such provisions were not inflicted on other performers that will be in the show. Ariana has already been featured on billboards all over LA promoting the Grammys. She's nominated for Best Pop Vocal Performance for God's a Woman and Best Pop Vocal Album for Sweetener. Look, she's one of this year's hottest stars. She's been putting out hit after hit. And that latest album, Thank You Next, is about to drop on February 8th. So she's got a lot going on.
Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised she's not going to be there, but she's been going through a lot. You know, there was the bombing at her Manchester concert that killed 22 people.
Right.
And then her ex, Mac Miller, passing away, and her broken engagement to Pete Davidson. So, I mean, girl's been going through a lot. She's kind of channeling it into her music. She's been smashing records. Sweetener and the songs Thank You Next and 7 Rings all broke Spotify records. 7 Rings broke Spotify's record for most plays within a 24-hour period with about 15 million plays.
Mind-blowing. I mean, she's killing it in every way. It's kind of this strange situation for the Grammys not to have the hottest artist of the year there, especially with all the nominations. But I don't know. It's kind of similar to what happened with Lorde at the 2018 Grammys.
Yeah, so producers wouldn't let Lorde perform a song off her album Melodrama, which was actually nominated for Album of the Year. Instead, they offered her a spot to perform as part of a tribute to Tom Petty, who had passed away. Now, Lorde ended up declining. So Ariana's kind of following suit with that. I feel like Ariana is so big, she could just do an Instagram Live and have as many views.
Honestly?
Like she could do her own
Imagine
thing.
if she did like counter-programming to the Grammys and dispute of it or whatever.
I'm just curious, why would they wouldn't let her perform 7 Rings, which is such a great song?
And the other thing is, it's really unfortunate that this sort of taints the honor of, like, she might very well win, and then this almost kind of like clouds that a little bit. But basically, what's going on with all the award shows? The Oscars and the host thing, Grammys having this kind of debacle. There's a lot of weird stuff this year.
So yeah, she's not performing at the show, but there are obviously going to be some great moments. You got Fantasia Barrino with Andrea Day and Yolanda Adams. They'll be part of a tribute to the late Aretha Franklin.
That is going to be powerful. No doubt about that. The Grammys, they really dial it in with those tributes, and I mean, those are incredible artists. Also, Camila Cabello will make her Grammy performance debut, nominated for Best Pop Solo Performance for the hit Havana, which I can't stop singing right now.
Yeah, which we always love. You'll also see Post Malone with Red Hot Chili Peppers, plus Shawn Mendes, Janelle Monáe, and Cardi B. So, I mean, we got some good artists.
I mean, the talent's there. It would be nice to have Ariana, too. But look, the 2012 Grammy Lifetime Achievement Award winner Diana Ross, she's going to be performing a special number in honor of her 75th birthday.
Yeah.
So,
and Music's Biggest Night is hosted by 15-time Grammy winner Alicia Keys. You can watch the show this Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern on CBS.
Do you think Ariana's going to reconsider this? I mean, this is a big night. You've got all that.
I kind of hope that something happens and she's there.
Guys, work it out for all of us, please. And you've got more for us in Star Treks.
I do. We are kicking off Star Treks today with one couple who just put a ring on it. this may be a bit of a surprise for people. Get ready to ring those wedding bells. It is official. Jennifer Lawrence is engaged to her boyfriend, Cooke Maroney. A rep for the actress confirmed the happy news to People after Lawrence was spotted on Tuesday night wearing a massive ring on that finger at what appeared to be a celebratory dinner in New York City. So one source put it simply, calling it a giant rock, and it was very noticeable. So Lawrence and Maroney were first linked in June, reportedly met through one of Lawrence's close friends, and the lovebirds haven't shied away from PDA ever since. In late June, they were spotted at a romantic candlelit dinner in New York, followed that with trips to Rome and Paris, where they were spotted strolling through the city of love, hand in hand. Nice life. J-Law's new fiance works in New York as an art dealer, representing artists like Lena Dunham's father, Carol. But this isn't Lawrence's first artist boyfriend. She was last linked to filmmaker Darren Aronofsky, who she dated for just over a year after first getting together in September of 2016. But she says the two are still friends. In May, she called the director her very good friend while presenting him an award at the BAM Gala in Brooklyn. So get this, she recently admitted she's friends with all of her exes. She says, "I think it's because I'm blunt. I don't think that you can have any sort of bad relationship with anybody if you're just blunt." I actually really agree with that. If you're very open about how you feel and you just lay it all out there, I think
start it that way, and then it's kind of like that's the baseline now, right? Like extreme, like dangerous honesty.
We talk about this a lot, being friends with your exes. I think it's really cool she's friends with all of her exes.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm friends with most of mine, but not all of them.
I don't think it's a requirement.
Yeah.
And like sometimes should be avoided. Better to move on and never speak again. But if you
especially
can work
in the
it out,
business, I think it's good that she still remains friends with Darren and everything.
Because you're probably going to be in similar circles, no matter what. Small world.
All right, we're moving on to this. Taraji P. Henson is opening up about her road to success, telling People and EW editorial director Jess Cagle in an exclusive interview, quote, "I want my story to give someone hope." Now, she is now a Hollywood star, but she grew up in a low-income neighborhood in Washington, D.C. The 48-year-old admits it was hard, but her parents made it seem easy, adding that she didn't feel like she was missing out on anything. Now, in her new movie, What Men Want, Henson plays a sports agent who can suddenly hear men's thoughts. It's kind of hard to tell if that's the best or worst thing ever. I think I'd be into it. Taraji told Jess about her character, Allie, and how women could relate to the role. Take a look.
And then she works in a world full of men. She's a sports agent. And, you know, she has all the numbers, she has all the incredible clients, but she still doesn't get the raises and the promotions that she deserves because she is a woman.
Yeah.
So you get to go into this world of most women and what we have to deal with in the workforce. Even if you don't work for a company of all men, even if you aren't a sports agent, even in my industry, it's just the fight we fight. We've been fighting forever.
So Taraji also reveals that she always knew she had talent. She wouldn't let anything deter her. After years of hustling small roles, she broke through in her 30s when she earned an Oscar nomination for 2008's The Curious Case of Benjamin Button, which she was great in. She said what kept her motivated was her desire for more. But with all of her acting success, Taraji says that her favorite role is her role as a mom to her 24-year-old son, Marcel. However, she tells Jess that she worries for him as a black man in America. Watch.
He has a really good heart. It's just hard to know that the world can pick him out and turn him into a monster at any given moment. And that's what I fear. That's something that I carry I think every black mother does, you know. All parents worry about their kids, but then when you see the news and you see people getting off or killing, you know, innocent children with no weapon, it's like,
yeah,
that doesn't exempt my son.
I think any parent that watches that, their heart goes out to imagine that factor. I mean, I'm in a position, fortunately, where I guess the privileged part of my life is I don't have to think about that factor as much, but to think about that piece of it being imposed on my kids it's just heartbreaking and terrifying.
Yeah, I mean, it's very relatable for a lot of people. I love Taraji. You can tell she loves being a mom. And then also one of my favorite things about her is that she did stick with it so long. I mean, she got her big break in her 30s and, you know, was hustling for a long time, almost gave up, but she stuck with it and shows that she really did prevail. She's killing it.
Yeah,
and I can't wait to see her movie. I think it's going to be amazing and raunchy, but really great. You can watch her full episode on the Jess Cagle interview, streaming now on PeopleTV. And those are your Star Tracks for today.
Stay with us, guys. Nick Lachey stops by People Now with dogs. Yes, if it could it get any better? I don't know. He's chatting about Westminster Kennel Club, Valentine's Day, so much more. Plus, Susan Lucci's shocking health announcement. Talking one-on-one with her. That is coming up in just a bit.
All right, guys, in honor of Jennifer Lawrence and Cooke Maroney's engagement news, we've been asking you which upcoming celebrity wedding you are most excited for. So let's take a look at our People poll results so far.
Go
I'm
Beebs.
curious.
Jennifer Lawrence.
You know what? It's timely.
Let me make an observation.
Recency bias, that's what I'm saying.
Her photos there, does that influence
You're right.
the voting?
I know. We got to look at the technical aspects
This is me
of all
trying
of this.
to make up for the
Look,
Bieber.
Baldwin and Bieber are only 13%.
Come on, guys.
But sometimes when you tell people to go vote for them, then they do. So you're trying to get Baldwin and Bieber up there.
Guys, keep voting in our People poll. We'll check in a little later, but now we move on to this.
All right, so everyone is talking about People's exclusive cover story this week.
All right,
What's
guys,
really going
everyone talking about People's exclusive cover story this week. What's really going on with Meghan Markle? And we've been hearing a lot of rumors about Meghan and her reputation and all of that.
A lot of negative comments. She doesn't get along with Kate. She's bossy. She's pushy, demanding. But her friends are not here for it. And they talk to people exclusively to kind of reveal the truth about Meghan.
Yeah, we mentioned earlier in the show that her friends have asked to remain anonymous to protect their friendship. They could speak maybe a little more freely that way. They want to debunk the idea that Meghan is a diva. Specifically, remember there was allegedly some drama regarding which tiara Meghan would wear or wanted to wear on her wedding day?
Yeah, so now her friends refute that saying. They say that she didn't throw a fit about a tiara or ask for fragrance to be sprayed in the church, because remember that was another rumor that was going on. They say that those are outrageous claims and 100% untrue.
Yeah, they even talked in that article that some of the comments were about her respect for the church and her respect for the bishop and everyone else involved, and that is just not like her. Even mentioned that she does tend to be very spiritual, very religious. Behaving like that diva doesn't really line up with the Meghan that they know.
Yeah, I thought it was really cool that she's also very self-sufficient, according to her friends. So besides her wedding, her friends tell people she does her own hair, makeup, and nails.
I love the image.
It's crazy because she could easily have someone come over and do her hair, makeup, and nails every day.
One friend recounted the story of her sitting by a space heater, like painting her own nails, right? Like, just like a normal person.
I know. I think either way, there's a lot of pressure being a royal and living there. She's kind of under this microscope, so it seems like she can't do anything right.
Yeah, her friends have been to her home. Here's what they said about that. Quote, "It's small, she's made it cozy, but the perception of their lifestyle and the reality of it are two different things." That person said Meg cooks for herself and Harry every single day.
Also very admirable. I don't cook at all, so I'm like, I think it's really, really
that
cool.
She doesn't at all.
But she does. She seems like she's someone that's very organized, does things very delicately. Also, there are a lot of stories from her friends how she's this nurturer. She's always making sure you're okay. She's asking about you first before, she talks about herself.
Yeah, going way out of her way for other people. So then the question, all right, is she a diva? Do these stories change the perception, if there is one, of her being a diva? For me, I've said from the start, like, I don't think she can make a move without people criticizing it. And I mean, imagine being thrown into this royal world, given a staff of people. Maybe you don't get along perfectly, you want to change it up, and then you're called difficult or something, if that would happen.
Well, I think nobody loves, not one person is loved by everyone. So the people that don't like you are always going to be the most outspoken, right? Two people could have a different story of how you are to work with.
I can't imagine.
So we'll never really know what's going on.
All right, guys, let us know your thoughts on this whole thing. You can tweet us using the hashtag #PeopleNow to join the conversation. And for more on Meghan Markle's fascinating story, pick up your copy of People on newsstands Friday. Well, guys, we are less than 1 week away from the season premiere of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. We can't wait for that Cali drama to be back in our lives again,
love it.
right?
We're obsessed. With one brand new addition here, though, Denise Richards is joining the cast for season 9. People caught up with Denise, and she revealed she was pretty surprised by the filming process. Watch.
One thing that I did learn from this show, I thought it's got to be softly scripted. It's not. It is really real, and that's something in the past where I was going through a lot of stuff and may not have been in the best place to maybe do a show like this. But right now, I'm in an amazing place. When you sign on to do a show like this, I want to be my true, authentic self. And if stuff comes up, it comes up. I'm not trying to pre-plan anything or anticipate what may or may not come up. I'm very open, and if stuff comes up from my past, it comes up. If it doesn't, then it doesn't. Really wanting to just be open and honest, and I can be at this point. And so, that's what made it, even more enticing for me to do and just be fun and be myself.
Man, I'm excited to watch her in this. In this week's issue of People, Denise Richards is getting even more real, opening up about Charlie Sheen, motherhood, and finding love again.
Here with all the details is People's deputy news editor, Eileen Ahas. Thank you for being here.
Of course.
Great to see you. Her saying that she's willing to do anything is like music to any producer's ears, right?
Yeah.
I'll talk about whatever. I'll react.
Yeah.
True, authentic self.
Right, that's great. Let's talk about this, though. A turbulent decade. Let's start with the beginning. Charlie Sheen, married for 3 years, then they're divorced in 2005. Walk us through that situation.
Yeah, so this was a celebrity couple people love to watch. They met, reconnected on the set of Spin City. They had this beautiful wedding that we obviously covered in People, and everything seemed kind of idyllic. But then, just 3 years after they wed, Denise shocked everyone. She filed for divorce when she was 7 months pregnant.
And then Charlie Sheen has gone on to do many things since then, and maybe things became more clear.
Yes. There was. It was a very, very public and negative divorce. It was very hard for her to deal with. By the time they kind of reached a little bit of an amicable stage in their relationship, of course, then Charlie went on through a period of some very erratic behavior. Tiger's blood, winning.
Yeah,
you guys remember
that? Yes, I know.
Tiger's blood and winning.
Denise was really pulled into this, and it was a very troubling time for her because she obviously, this is the father of her children. It was difficult for her. People were constantly asking her about Charlie. So she was kind of consistently brought back into this.
Yeah, and let's talk about this. She actually ended up taking in Charlie and Brooke Miller's sons when Charlie was behaving erratically and everything. So what did she tell you about that?
Yeah, so when Charlie was kind of going through a difficult period and his ex-wife Brooke was actually seeking rehab for her own addictions, Denise just didn't hesitate to step in and actually took care of Charlie and Brooke's two sons, who are now 9 years old. She said that she didn't hesitate. I mean, the bottom line, these are the brothers of her daughters. And she said, look, if someone needs me, I'm gonna be there, no matter how complicated the situation.
Yeah, now how are she and Charlie doing today?
Today, they are in a really good place. They have found kind of this way to co-parent. She wants him to be the best father that he can be to his daughters. She wants them to be in the girls' lives. She told me that, look, we decided that we didn't want to be married anymore and the marriage wasn't working for us. It's not our kids' fault. So they still deserve to have two parents who are with them and, you know, supportive.
You know, it's interesting, you always, with a lot of these celebrity breakups, you see time and time again, the mothers stepping up and picking up the slack, taking care of the kids in spite of some of the things that are happening with the dad. Anyway, love life aside, let's talk about this rocky time in her early life too. 2007, Denise's mom passes away from cancer. Fast forward 2.5 years ago, a devastating diagnosis for one of Denise's 3 daughters. Tell us about that diagnosis and how that affected her.
So Denise adopted her daughter Eloise in 2011 as a single mom. And pretty early on in Eloise's life, she noticed that she wasn't hitting some typical milestones of her other children. She walked really late, only with the help of physical therapy. And then ultimately, 2.5 years ago, when Eloise was around 4 years old, she was diagnosed with a chromosomal disorder. She's a deletion in chromosome 8. And at this point, it's all kind of unknown for Denise. She's really just navigating what's the best course of action for Eloise. Of course, she loves her daughter so much and just wants to do what's in Eloise's best interest. But yeah, it's a tough road, and it's definitely something that she doesn't have a roadmap for.
Sure.
Yeah, so what is Eloise's prognosis now? Is it kind of up in the air?
At this point, she is, you know, they're still kind of figuring out what's best for her. She's largely nonverbal. She kind of uses hand signals and has a few words. But, you know, they're just trying to figure out kind of what to do. But Eloise is a very happy girl, and she loves her sisters. And you know, Denise is just doing the best that she can. She's a wonderful mother and very attuned to her children.
Yeah, good for her for taking all of that on and being so strong. Now, Denise opened up to People about the most valuable lesson that her parents actually taught her and that she's using in her motherhood journey today. Let's take a quick look at that.
I think one of the best things that my parents raised my sister and I with was they are not judgmental people. And everyone's equal, and I think that's something that's really stuck with me and something that I really want to instill in my daughters, to not judge. And even when certain things come up, because I have 2 girls that are teenagers, and if they may do something that I may not agree with, I always come from a place, I'm not judging this. My observation is, however, that this could go sideways or whatever. But I think the biggest thing is to not be a judgmental person.
I'd say that's going to be one of the challenges of life. Teenagers and not being judgmental, right, as a parent. How did that mood, though, reflect when you were talking to her? How did you kind of see that in her, that idea of no judgment? You
know, she said, at one point, she said, despite everything, I'm a glass half full kind of person. And you can really see that. She has an air of positivity. She really wants to just kind of see the best in every situation, and she is inspired by the way that she grew up, and you know, she's there for people, she's loyal, she doesn't hold grudges, she's very forgiving, and ultimately, despite everything she's been through, she has she's very at peace with everything.
Good for her.
Yeah, I know, especially
That's impressive,
with having
yeah.
everything in the public eye, because her love life has been heavily featured in the public eye.
It has.
But she has found love again, which is very exciting. So she met wellness practitioner Aaron Vipers in 2017. They got married in September of 2018. So how does he kind of fit into her world? Why do they work so well?
Oh, they have an amazing relationship, and he is really the best person for Denise. From the beginning, he really embraced her, he embraced her daughters, and she even said to me, she said, look, this man was so open to me as a single mom with 2 teenagers, with my daughter who had special needs, and this ex who Denise said, we all know he has a wonderfully colorful past, and there's a lot in the public, and Aaron was just completely on board with, and supportive and understanding. She said he never judged her, and he never expected any change, and they both feel that way about each other.
It's almost like someone that fits into that dynamic perfectly. It's a really good sign that this might be the right person, right? Because there are a lot of different elements there to fit.
It was the right time,
Yeah.
too.
Well, I'm really happy that she seems to be in a very positive place.
Yeah.
Thank you so much,
Of
Eileen.
course.
It's got to come out to the
pleasure
East
be
Coast
here.
way more.
I know. I do. I'll be here again soon.
All right, for more with Denise Richards, pick up a copy of People on Newsstands Friday.
Guys, we all know and love the one and only Susan Lucci from All My Children. She's done so much work, and we got to talk to her about something different this time, her health.
Yeah, so back in October 2018, within a 10-day period, she felt some tightness in her chest. So she chose to ignore that, thinking nothing of it, until the 3rd time. Take a look at this.
The 3rd time, I was in a boutique buying birthday present for a friend of mine, and as they were going to wrap the gifts, I felt what I had heard by randomly walking by a TV, I don't even know when. I heard a woman who was generous in her interview saying that this is how she felt before she could have had a heart attack or was having a heart attack. It felt like an elephant pressing on her chest.
This weightedness.
Yes, it was no denying it. This was no denying it. It felt like an elephant pressing on my chest.
And that description, the elephant pressing on the chest, it's a common way to describe heart and chest pains. Could be something more serious. She really didn't put much stock into the whole situation until a manager at a boutique that she frequents, she's known for a while, that manager insisted on helping her. Watch this.
The manager came over, who I've known for many years, and she said, Susan, are you okay? And I said, you know what, Judy, I'm just kind of sitting here thinking, just trying to assess what's going on. And she asked me what it was. I told her how I was feeling. And she said, without hesitation, she said, you know what, my car's right outside. Why don't I drive you to the hospital?
So she drove you to the hospital?
She drove me to the hospital. And it was St. Francis Hospital, which is the heart hospital. It was in the next town. It was less than 10 minutes away. I went and had a CAT scan, and we all expected that I would be sent home. I had no symptoms really except this elephant on my chest, and that went away.
Okay.
So
then what?
So then he did the CAT scan, and when I came out, he came back to my room and he said, you have 90% blockage in your major artery and 75% blockage in there's a V part with a smaller artery offshoot. And he said, I can fix this. And I can do it tonight. It was getting to be kind of 9 o'clock at night.
So this needed to be taken care of immediately?
Yes, I had no idea.
It was such an incredible revelation to her.
Yeah.
By the way, she also told me she was going to be on a flight within a couple days of when that happened. If she hadn't gotten that taken care of, it is hard to say what could have happened with the severity of the blockage and everything going on there. Many miraculous things happened in the course of events that led her to having things be dealt with quickly.
Well, I can't imagine going through that and also not thinking much of it until it kept happening. So I'm glad that she was able to catch that and everything. And then you two, I know, were talking about how women, they often look out for others, put themselves kind of on the back burner.
Yeah, she opened up a lot about that, and she told people and me that she was out of the hospital the next day. She's been feeling great. It was kind of a quick recovery for her. She's always been very healthy, though, and that was part of the mind-blowing part for her, her family, and everyone else. Does Pilates every day, eats healthy. She is currently, though, on blood thinners, but overall, feeling really great.
Yeah, and I think it's really cool. The recovery time was very fast, which is very rare, and she's now working with the American Heart Association to teach women about their heart and heart disease.
She's taken a stand by walking down the runway, a special event. Watch this.
It's one of the biggest events. It's the kickoff event for the American Heart Association for Women's Heart Health Month, and which is the month of February. And I'm so thrilled to be walking the catwalk in a gown by Ruben Singer, who's designed it specially for me for this event. I actually did it 10 years ago, exactly 10 years ago.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
And so I know recently there's been something on social media about the 10-year challenge.
Yeah, that's right.
So here it is,
Here we go. Yeah, we couldn't let her go without talking about one of the most iconic TV moments ever.
So after losing the Emmy 19 times, she finally won. The reaction was insane.
Yeah, this was a moment where we had watched back on YouTube. We found the moment where she was announced and the whole crowd, full of actors, full of stars, screamed and yelled and jumped up and down. There were people in tears, and the standing ovation went on and on and on. It's one of those moments where it's so genuine. You don't see that very often in that type of environment.
I mean, to be up for it so many times, it's crazy. Well, we had a fun throwback moment with Susan Lucci, her Emmy and People magazine watch.
1999, this is when you finally won that Emmy Award. We just rewatched the clip of that moment when it was announced and that standing ovation that roared on for an eternity. What an incredible moment. When you see this and then when you see this, look at that spread. How happy they love Lucci. This is so great. After 18 years of trying and crying, it finally happened. What goes through your mind when you see this and when you think back to that time?
Oh my gosh, it's like yesterday. For one thing, it's like yesterday. Yeah. And I mean, I couldn't believe it, obviously. You know, after the 9th time that I didn't win, this was my 19th nomination when I won. I went numb after the 9th time. I never heard my name, ever. So I was thrilled when Rosie O'Donnell took my evening bag, which she had been holding, and my husband said yes, because I whispered in his ears, true, really?
Really? Yeah. Right.
Yes. And Shamar Moore of making the big announcement. When I turned around and saw that audience on their feet for me, because they were, you know, we're all in the trenches together. Everybody works so, it's a big schedule when you do daytime, and a lot of material and a lot of talented people. When they were on their feet, I thought, I don't think I can keep standing. I'm sure I can't speak. I mean, the whole thing,
Where's that Emmy right now?
Oh, that Emmy is where it's been since day one. Well, probably day 5. I had it in my bedroom for a while.
Slept in it for a while. Waking up in the middle of the night, yes, it's real.
It's real, it's real. There it is. But it's on our mantle in the living room, center stage.
I love that.
She's
lovely.
so sweet and so gracious. And like watching that makes me very happy for her.
We were trying to think about this. Is there anyone else that you can imagine that would get that kind of reaction after being nominated? So beloved.
Yeah.
I mean, she's in a category of her own.
I can't even really think of anyone that would compare to because it's been so many times for her.
Also, when she walked in, it was one of those things where, you know, a lot of people come in and out of here, a lot of different celebrities, but there were people that were anxious to talk to her all the way down the hall. I mean, it was
she's a legend.
Yeah, she's a real legend. It was such a privilege to have her. We're so excited that she's doing well. More about everything that we just talked about on people.com. All right, let's move to this. Did you see the State of the Union last night?
Big night.
Obviously.
I did watch it.
Yeah, I
kind
watched
of casually, but I was there.
So President Trump delivering his speech a little later in the year than usual due to the shutdown and everything else. Of course, he touted a lot of his accomplishments. There was some call for unity, but then he said, of course, some things that are very divisive and then kind of calls for unity again.
Yeah, but I mean, of course, on the internet, there was this moment that captured everyone's attention. Nancy Pelosi claps back at President Trump, like claps, a very pointed clap as we see here. So this moment happened Tuesday night during the State of the Union, right after Trump talked about cooperation.
Yeah, and that was, so that became a meme, obviously, like right at the most pointed, right there, that moment with the little smirk. The internet reacted, and the only way the internet knows how to react, leading to countless tweets. Here we go, Pelosi, the god with the, okay, I couldn't read all of it. Nancy Pelosi straight up giving Trump the baby shark.
Oh, yeah, I didn't even think of that one. Nancy Pelosi clapping at Trump for giving her job back is the pettiness I aspire to live out in 2019.
There it is, the god with the most petty and sarcastic clap possible. All right, so the social computer, there's been some imposing of now the halftime show, all right, Adam Levine. Does this mean she's clapping because he's still got his shirt on? I'm not sure.
Oh, yeah.
Clapping at Tucker Carlson. Okay. Here, keep scrolling on down with Tom Brady. So now this is just going to be the new thing, right?
Yeah, it's kind of like when we had Fiji Water Girl, they put her in the back of everything. Now it's just Nancy Pelosi clapping at everything. Oh, and him golfing.
Oh, and the golf course.
These are actually pretty funny.
The golf course ones are maybe my favorite, especially because they're kind of hard to find sometimes. Anyway, Fire Festival guy, all that. So there's clapping for Kim Jong-un. All right, so now the iconic clap is not the only thing that got the internet talking. Celebrities, of course, on Twitter reacting to the State of the Union broadcast and the speech. Also chiming in, actor and comedian Matt Oswalt proposed a new drinking game. He said, quote, every time they cut to a Democrat rolling their eyes, take a, oh, my liver just exploded. A lot of eye rolling.
The Twitter handle of Samantha Bee's show, Full Frontal, had an idea about what Pelosi was reading during the speech, saying, quote, Nancy Pelosi is 100% reading a Jodi Picoult novel back there. She was kind of going through her papers a lot.
There were a lot of very...
And the thing is, she knows she's right behind him. She knows that the camera's on her, and she doesn't really care.
I think she was well prepared to become a meme, and I don't know that she would have predicted the clap would be it.
Well,
I think it was more going to be
right behind him.
Right.
And when you watch that address, there's always this, like, are they going to stand? Who's going to clap? Who's not? And so she's right front and center of if she's going to clap or not, or do a pointed clap, stand or not.
Yeah, he was running the room, and she was still running the room in a different way as well.
Absolutely.
So actor Josh Charles was looking for a bit more entertainment, asking, quote, when does Maroon 5 come on?
Would that make it better? Nah, it's up for debate.
Stephen Colbert also.
Yeah, he brought up the Russian connection, saying the State of the Union was his, quote, favorite episode of Russian Doll.
So a lot of reactions there. I mean, social media went wild with the memes, and I was looking at my feed, and I was trying to see like different reception and how things went. CBS News poll had really high approval numbers for the speech and the content of some of what the president said. We'll see what sticks long term.
I think
with
it
this
depends.
Kind of
It's like everything. Obviously, people on one side think it was great and approve of it, and everyone on the other side thinks it was terrible.
Yeah, it is kind of funny. Oh, best speech ever. Oh, worst speech ever.
Exactly.
Somewhere in the middle, people kind of boil it all down. We'll see what sticks. Probably the meme. Should we continue to this?
Yeah, Nick Lachey stopped by People Now with some adorable dogs from the Westminster Kennel Club Dog Show to tell us how you could win $1 million. Take a look.
We're here today promoting the Purina Pro Plan Bracket Challenge, which is something they do every year around the dog show, and basically encouraging people to go to the website and register their own bracket. You can go to pureplanbracket.com.
Okay.
I've filled out one. Basically, you can see it here behind you. And
this is yours. This is
that's
officially
mine.
yours.
These are my
Okay.
picks. So a chance to win $1 million, basically, and put a little stake in the game. Which is a
So
lot of
you
fun.
got the Siberian Husky. That's where you're feeling like.
I grew up with a Siberian Husky, so for me, like, I tried to make all my picks kind of personal.
Okay.
Like the German Shepherd was my brother's first dog, so it was like my first nephew.
I love that.
I have, Wookie, my dog is half Yorkie, so I went Yorkshire Terrier.
And I hear that you are the official. Let me see if am I getting this right? The official barkatologist.
Yes, not a very well done, not a bracketologist, but a barkatologist. It's like my favorite term ever.
Right.
So,
Mark it off the bucket list.
Yeah, so I mean, honestly, I'm disqualified because I'm the official
right.
the official barkatologist.
Barkatologist.
But if someone wants to, copy my picks here, I firmly encourage it.
All right.
I'm feeling pretty good about them. What do you guys
Stay
think?
away.
No, I think it's pretty, yeah.
Can you pronounce this one?
I was just going to say I can't.
Neither can I.
Wait, but you're the barkatologist.
That's why it's up there, because I'm just dying for the announcer
Can
when he
you?
announces the winner of that group.
Yeah. Zoloit Shintley. I don't know, whatever. Anyway.
No,
it's
but obviously
exciting.
you go on the website, you pick the winner of what you think the winner of every group will be,
Okay.
and then you pick the dog you think is going to win, the breed you think is going to win best in show.
This is fun. I
and you're
love it.
Do you
eligible
put
to
a
win
lot of
$1 million.
time in it, or is it just like your first gut instinct and you go with it?
I go with the gut.
Strategy?
I always go with the gut.
Yeah.
You can overthink these things.
I don't think you want to overthink it.
But I try to make it personal, so it had like a little personal touch for me. And I used to have a lab retriever. You realize the lab is as popular as labs are. A lab has never won the sporting group.
Oh, really?
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. How can people get involved in this?
Quirk, you're killing me here.
Quirk's ready to go.
Go to proplanbracket.com.
Okay.
And then you just register there on the website. You can fill it out, pick all your picks.
And you can win $1 million.
And you win $1 million.
That's
Yeah.
really incredible.
I know you have a dog, Wookie, right? Have you ever thought of training him for a dog show or getting him involved in anything like that?
Wookie's good at many, many things. I'm not sure he's dog. Well, first of all, he's a mutt. He's not a purebred.
Okay.
Right? So you have to be a purebred to be in the dog show.
Yeah.
But no, he's always the winner in our house.
That dog was on the move.
I know. I can watch those dogs do this like all day long. But we're talking about Wookie. So besides Wookie being a winner, Nick's also a winner when it comes to relationships. He opened up, well, kind of, about his plans for Valentine's Day with his wife, Vanessa Lachey.
We do have plans, yes.
Yeah.
We're gonna take a little getaway, a little couples retreat and get away, for a few days from the kids, and won't say where, but I plan on it being romantic.
Sunshine? Okay.
And yeah, no, it's important. Especially when you have kids, it becomes so overwhelming, and it's what you want. As a parent, it's the best, but it's also nice to get back to being a couple and having a few days. So Valentine's obviously is the perfect time.
Don't know why he's being so discreet about it.
Maybe he doesn't want people just showing up to where he's going.
Speaking of discreet, people have been suspicious that Nick Lachey is the rabbit in the hit show, The Masked Singer. We tried asking kind of the hard-hitting questions here to get an answer out of him. Spoiler, we didn't quite, but watch what he says. People think you're under a mask, my friend. What's the deal?
I can neither confirm nor deny that, that I'm under any said mask.
That's interesting.
But I am very impressed with the success and popularity of the show.
Because you posted a picture of you on Instagram with you in a rabbit costume, right? Saying it's you.
Just
so you're
to
trying
say,
to tease everybody.
I'm saying that I have at some point in time been in a rabbit mask.
We made this point to him, and let's just point it out again. When Joey Fatone was here, he adamantly, ardently denied. He said, I am not in the suit.
Yeah.
He said, I can neither confirm nor deny.
But I don't think he would post that picture in the rabbit suit. You're under like a contract that you're not supposed to spoil. So I don't think he's gonna give it that big of a spoiler. Wow.
Spoily.
So excited about him maybe being in the rabbit suit. I actually watched it last night. I was kind of catching up, and that show is very frustrating because you only find out one of the people in the mask after a while. I wanted to know who's there.
As frustrating as it is, renewed for season 2 about 2 weeks ago,
very
or about
exciting.
a week ago. So we're going to get a lot more of that coming up. Anyway, all right, let's take one last look at our People poll. Jennifer Lawrence and Cooke Maroney are officially engaged, joining the list of Hollywood A-listers putting a ring on it in recent months.
So we want to know which celebrity wedding you are most excited for. So let's take a look.
Still taking the lead.
You know, Baldwin and Bieber are still down at 13%.
All right, I'm going to go back to what I said before. I think if that were a picture of Pratt and Schwarzenegger, they would be leading in this poll. They're close behind. I think there's a little bias going on because of who we're seeing.
You know what? Also could be because Justin Bieber and Hailey Baldwin are already actually technically married.
Yeah, sure. That's true.
Maybe that's why.
Man, that Pratt Schwarzenegger wedding, whenever that happens, I can't wait for the photos.
You're very excited about that
one. Just Arnold being a part. Will he officiate? Maybe.
I don't know what he's gonna wear. It's gonna be great.
Yeah. All right. We'll be back with another question of the day tomorrow. You can tune in for that. And coming up tomorrow, Rita Moreno is here chatting about the cameo everyone will be talking about on her Netflix show One Day at a Time. We got the latest on the West Side Story remake. Some really good details.
She is the best. I love her so much. She said some really hilarious things. Plus, Maya Erskine and Anna Conkle are here to talk about their Pen 15 show. So this brand new series is about middle school as it really happened. Very excited for that. Thanks for watching. For now, we leave you with one last thing from Susan Lucci. Bye, guys.
See you tomorrow.
Hi, I'm Susan Lucci, and this is One Last Thing. The last country I visited was Italy. I had never been in Milan. I kept hearing how great it was, and boy, I just fell in love. The last song stuck in my head was and is Baby Shark. And I can do Baby Shark, Baby Shark, do-do-do-do-do. Yeah. My last fashion faux pas was, you know, it could have been yesterday. In the 80s, one Emmy presentation, I had a dress on that had those broad shoulders. It had every bell and whistle on it at the same time that it could. That coupled with my big hair from the 80s, I have no idea how I walked out of the house. It was not good.